That's of course not going to happen either. It still needs intelligent, good ad ops management to make any campaign work. Another popular thing to do is to target yourself to death. So imagine here we've got a couple of targeting criteria that a client would like to, or a couple of things that the client would like to present their product to. One of them is males between 25 and 35, so you've got some demographic data. One of them is New York metropolitan area. One of them is people that are interested in unicycles, and so they say, let's just do that targeting just on pages in the web that are about unicycles. and that's all you're going to reach. That's all of those people. And that's actually helping nobody. It's neither helping the client, who probably wants to get people who may be interested in unicycles but might be reading different content right now. It's not going to help you because you're going to be making absolute zip money. And you won't get your repeat bookings. That happens so often. Okay, I've got a case here, a case study of a Danish publisher that we've been working with. In this case, it was they were interested in trying out a couple of new technologies, one of them being retargeting, one of them being semantics, and decided to do a parallel test on the same inventory at the same time, using 3 different techniques. One was do nothing, one was use retargeting, and one was to do some semantic targeting, i.e. focus on what each page is about, and target on relevant content. So seeing this was a travel client, the assumption was, it's travel, then we should target on travel content. And that's what's dangerous about not helping the client to understand what they really want. So what happened is, if you look at relevant click rates in the semantic bit, or in fact, I'll tell you the exciting bit right now, retargeting one, it was a very successful campaign, and the run of network campaign with no targeting whatsoever had a pretty shitty click rate. As I say, they were comparing click rates, so admittedly a fairly basic mechanism, but still it's something that you can measure and compare. The semantically targeted campaign had a very similar or even worse shitty click rate to on average, to the campaign that wasn't targeted at all, and everyone was shocked. Because this is supposed to be a really sexy technology, it's got, it's expensive to develop, it's recognizes what content on the pages, so why aren't these metrics working in this case? And when you look in a wee bit more detail, these 3 subjects here, budget travel, sports travel, travel agencies, were the types of content that had, a lot higher average click rate than the average of the semantic campaign, and higher than anything else. But there was a lot of content on other travel, or a lot of impressions being served on other types of travel content that wasn't working. And if you actually had not told the customer, the client, to just run the campaign on travel content right from the beginning, but you'd actually opened it up to everything and then optimized in the direction of where it was actually performing and where users were interested in clicking on this travel product, then you would have found that finance information was very useful, and that general pages on music, were where you're going to find the right kinds of users, or the right kinds of user interests, to also be interested in travel. Now you can assume what you like out of that for the future, but the learning for me was to have to try to help clients not to restrict their options right at the very beginning, but to take a look after a couple of days, see where a campaign's performing and optimize towards it. Everything else is pretty much arrogance of assuming that internet users are going to have a specific level of interest in a specific area. Right. Which is this? Not particularly thinking outside the box.